They don't take into account the actual marking that Beethoven had, which is cut time, and it has to be twice as fast. And everybody has always said, oh, it's him lamenting that he's losing his hearing. It's not. That's got nothing to do with it. But music is a language because it's consistent. The relationships between the chords, even in the vertical, because you travel if you've got harmonic progression vertically by the notes that you pick for your melody, but then also very stably in your horizontal, your chord progression, however that is laid out. And once you understand, particularly if you can, I remember one time I actually analyzed Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata because everybody loves it. It's a great piece, although everybody plays it way too slow. They don't take into account the actual marking that Beethoven had, which is cut time, and it has to be twice as fast as that. So anyway, and everybody has always said, oh, it's him lamenting that he's losing his hearing. It's not. That's got nothing to do with it. And I showed harmonically what he was actually lamenting about was he was born into the lower class. He could never marry into the aristocracy, the women that were more cultured that he could appreciate. He was a Van Beethoven, not a von Beethoven. Now this is where the cover. So he's lamenting in the first movement. He'll never break away, and that's that bass line and those triplets that are always gnawing at him. He'll never get away. He'll never be other than a peasant. Okay, no matter what you do with music, you'll always be a peasant. You'll never be able to marry her. Never be able to marry her. Okay, so in the second movement is a scherzo, and it's a masquerade. It's a charade. It's a pretend kind of thing. And at that time, he had just moved from Bonn, his hometown, to Vienna, the heart of music, and he actually pretended to be a von Beethoven. And guess what? He was found out, and the third movement is running away. Oh. And when you listen to it, you realize that's exactly what's going on. And I showed harmonically how that happened, and I was dealing with some professional pain. This is back in the day of chat rooms.
In terms of music today, is there a fix for music today? Is there something we can do or parents should do with regard to their children's music?
Yeah, they should definitely not let them listen to this modern formulated pop music. They should not, definitely not anything destructive. Pop music is destructive on another level. It's just it's numbing. It's just, it desensitizes you to real music. The Western world suffered a great catastrophe in the late 19th century, and on into the 20th century, called the avant-garde. And that was brought on by the fact, as I point out in my book, that mathematicians had already usurped the position of philosopher, because we started to look for truth in numbers and not in the Creator, not in Christ. And we turned to numbers, and that's what's going to kill us. We made a machine. That was the whole intent. Leibniz made that. He had a vision. Leibniz, who invented binary code, thought that that we could find truth in numbers, and that's another way that they just pulled themselves and removed themselves from Christ. But we have to protect our children's imaginations at all cost. It's a very precious thing, not in the Gollum way, but it is a very, very valuable thing that our children have an innocence in their mind. And children are stupid, I'm sorry to say, but they have no wisdom. They have no idea what's going on. I mean, a male's brain isn't fully developed until about 24. A female's brain is a little earlier than that. But I mean, you start to be capable of reason to some degree, 6 or 7 years old, and then you develop it. But now we're sending our kids to the Marxist Dewey machine, which is industrial education, which has rejected Aristotle, has rejected Aquinas, and now it's just an industrial education so you can make money and be a cog in the wheel and ultimately burn in hell.